Hello and welcome, and today we're going to be going over another Bukkit plugin, and this one I've gotten a couple requests for relating to heroes, so we're going to answer those. So what we're going to do is it's been about permissions. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Bukkit, and my original favorite one was when the regular permissions plugin was out, but now that's since been pretty much not used. You can see other permissions like PEX. I don't use those. I tried it. I didn't like it. The one that worked the best for me was Essentials. So if you go to Essentials, I actually deleted everything in all the plugins. So I'm gonna re-download everything. But the main one that you want to download after you also have Essentials, Core and Extras is Group Manager. So you're gonna download. I'm just gonna download every single one of them, just so that I can have the full set. And then, so what else we're going to do is we are going to open up our Bukkit server. We're going to go to plugins, and we have Spout installed, and I don't really need to change anything besides that. So I'm going to go to my downloads, and we're going to see all of these. So we're going to move all the Essentials plugins into our plugin folder, just because there's certain parts of Group Manager that that works with Essentials quite nicely. So it just makes sense to use both of them, and it even says Essentials Group Manager. So once you have all that installed, I'm going to also install Heroes, just because people have been having problems because they have Heroes running, but then the regular users can't view the Heroes. And the way I solve this problem with Heroes is going to be the same way that you're going to solve the problem with every other plugin. So you can just apply this to every other plugin that you have permissions problems with. You're just going to need to do a little digging to find the permissions section. And this one, it's under configuration, and here are all the permissions. So what we're going to do is we're going to run the server and get everything set up. And this video is going to be mainly a config video, just to show how everything works. And I have to have Vault installed to use Heroes. So I'm just going to find Vault again. If you have any questions about how I'm installing Heroes right now, there's actually 4 videos on it about Heroes. So go to those videos, they're on my channel. So this is just me installing Heroes right now. And I'm going to rerun the server. You can see that Group Manager loaded right here. So we're going to type in stop, but I have the auto restart on. Again, there's a video on that. So now I'm not going to get any errors. Heroes is going to load. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the Group Manager file. And I'm going to open up all of these. But the main one is you're going to go into your Worlds folder, and then you're just going to have your World folder, and you're just going to do Edit with Notepad++. So you're going to see your groups, and this is where all your permissions are going to go. This is going to be this is actually like your general groups that they have like pre-set up. So they have stuff for Townie that's set up. They have like what they think moderator should have. This is Bukkit, so this is like Bukkit plugins that come like in vanilla. And then this is Essentials, what they think Essentials people should have. And you can change any of this. We're actually not going to use any of these because I've tried to use them. They really don't work. Really, inheritance in this plugin kind of stinks. So what we're going to do is we're going to be working with the default, because that's going to be your default user. And it comes pre-installed with a prefix, so we're going to make this prefix. We're going to add a prefix and we're going to call it default. And so that we know that this is the default, and we're going to give them the permission to build, and they're not going to need a suffix. So all this inheritance stuff you can delete, and all this Bukkit kill command, you can also delete that. They don't really need to have the ability to kill themselves. Actually, no, we'll leave that in. If they want to, they can. So pretty much Essentials default, this is going to be everything that a default user can use, that they think a default user should be able to use. So you can just copy and paste that in, and this way you don't have to use the inheritance. And then the rest of this is kind of, it's really based on what you think. So I'm going to copy all of this in, but I'm going to show certain things that I think default users should have and default users shouldn't have. Honestly, unless you're using warps, I don't like command warps. I like the warp signs, so I'm just going to delete any warp. TPA is fine. Suicide, any of the sign stuff, they don't really need to use it. Set home, if you're not using factions, then set home can be allowed to stay. If you are using factions though, I would recommend getting rid of it. Scene I would leave. Protect I would get rid of. Power tool I would get rid of. Ping, pay, nickname, message I would leave. Mail I would leave. Kit, tools, this is just kits, I would leave. Item database, yeah, I would leave it. Get position, I would leave that too. Depth, compass, chat, pretty much. Actually, I'm going to go back up to the top. I would leave all of this. AFK, the only thing I wouldn't leave back. And then since I don't like the economy plugin, or the economy plugin that comes with essentials, I'm just going to delete the economy stuff that comes with that. So right now we have pretty much the permission set up for the default user. If you didn't catch all of that, just go back in the video, you'll see what I deleted and didn't delete. So this is pretty much what I think a default user should have. They have pretty wide access. Again, some of the things vary, like set home if you're using factions or not. Users, actually I would delete these because these are the guys who created the plugin, and they're just giving themselves moderator status by default. So then what we're going to do is, after that, they don't really need any more than that. I'm just going to go to Bukkit default and see what's under there. I wouldn't leave any of this. Generally, with a server, you don't want them to be able to see the plugins, just so that your servers, like how you're running everything, stays normal. OP override, I would leave that true, so if you opt someone, they automatically get users, and then this is the other world that they automatically apply to, that these automatically apply to. So I really wouldn't change anything in the configs. This is just where you change things. So now I'm going to go back to heroes and the heroes configuration, and I'll link to this in the description. But the problem that people are having is they're not able to see the classes. So I'm actually going to copy all of this except for the top one, because that allows them to see all classes. So if you're having donator classes, you don't want to put that in. If you're not going to have donator classes, then you can just leave it with that big with the star. I forget what it's called, but the star just means that everything after that is now applied to them. So now I'm just going to copy and paste everything in, and I'm going to delete everything that's not a hero. See all this admin stuff, I'm actually going to delete those permissions, because they really shouldn't have admin permissions. So anything admin, I would delete, wouldn't let them use it. The reset, wouldn't let them use that, just because you don't really want them resetting things. And then this is where you're going to add in your classes. So I'm going to go open up my heroes folder and see what classes I have. It's just going to be the default classes. So classes, so I have a citizen, cleric, mage, rogue, and warrior. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. So I have a citizen, and then I'm just going to copy and paste this. I think I have a rogue, I have a mage, I have a warrior. I think that's how you spell it. Someone actually complained about my spelling. It's quite late, so you can give me a break. But I'm going to go back. Where do I want to go back to? Yeah, I want to go back to this folder. So yeah, I think I spelled everything correctly. Oh yeah, I think I forgot the cleric though. Yeah, I did. So now we're going to Control V, cleric. So now I have all these permissions in, but we still have the problem of these all have to have this little like prefix to all of them. So I'm just gonna scroll down and add it to every single one, just so that it's part of the heroes, and then we'll run it, and hopefully there will be no errors, and they should be able to use the hero classes now. I am going to DOP myself, so I am a default user. So right now we're going to reload. So once we're reloaded, I'm going to start up Minecraft. Actually, this may cause some problems right there, but we'll see. I don't think it should, but it may. These configuration files are very touchy. So now what we're going to do is when Minecraft loads up, if it decides to load up, there we go. I loaded up, I think I loaded up a bunch of them. Yeah, I loaded up 3. So I'm going to log in. And when it decides to log in, I have a really good computer, but for some reason this takes forever. I'm going to log into the server now. I'm going to DOP myself. You can see I still have the fancy water on. So if I say hi in the chat, I'm a default user, as you can see. It's all yellow. You can change that with color. But so if I go to hero, I can now access the hero. And then if I go hero paths, I can now see all the hero paths. And just to show you that's the permission plugin that's working, I'm going to delete all of these. I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to restart the server. And when the server comes back up, I should not be able to see any of those. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video. Pass, and I can't see anything. So there, you can see that that it's working. I'll actually just undo all of that, just so because I want them to be there. There we go. So now they're all back. And so pretty much that's how you're going to do with every other permissions plugin, or every other plugin that you want to use permissions with, like the economy. There are permissions on there. If you go to, like, if you type in economy, there's actually a little bit harder to find. You go to their page, and you'll scroll down, and you'll see different. It's going to be under documentation. Actually, maybe not. Nope, it's not going to be under documentation. That's actually kind of interesting. It's really just something you have to go and look. It actually may be under this one. I guess not. It's really hard to find some of these. There is actually a plugin that lists them out for you. I think it's called it's like Permissions Finder, or yeah, Permissions Helper. So this will generate a list of you of the permissions. It's usually easier to find this. Yeah, permissions nodes. So you click on that, and then it should, yeah, here all they are. So then you would add these in right here, and then you would have access to economy. The only thing that I know doesn't work is factions doesn't work for whatever reason, but factions comes pre-installed with a permission setup that makes sense for users and administration. So that's not really something to worry about. Its permissions are pre-set up, and they're actually set up very well. So that's pretty much it. So pretty much this is what I believe. You can change these up, what a regular user should have access to for the permissions of essentials, and then also how to add other permissions so that you can set up your permissions correctly. And I would actually delete this so that we can also do bind and stuff. Your prefix build and stuff down here. Again, if you're going to do like some sort of donator, I wouldn't do any inheritance of default. I would actually copy all of this and then add any permissions to it. You can really just like copy this one and then delete things from it. The admin is pretty self-explanatory. If you OP yourself though, you automatically get the permissions, I think, of an admin. And then of course owner. And then you can add prefixes if you want. It's really, most of it's not that difficult. It's just the difficult part is setting it up. And then of course if you get errors, remember that it's spaces, not tabs. if you guys have any questions, I know I may have missed something. Just put them in the comment section below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. I hope this helps with the people who had questions about heroes and general permissions plugin help. If you liked the video, if you thought it was helpful, please rate and subscribe, and come back next time.